Welcome back, my people. Hello. As the Yoruba said, Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ètò tòní. My name is Toyin, and today we're going to be talking about the first child or an older child in an African household. Before we start all that, please subscribe, share, and like. And also, don't forget to press the notification bell right there so that you don't miss any of my juicy talk. There's a lot of juicy talk to come on. But today, we're talking about the life of an older child in an African household. I know that I'm not the first child, but I'm telling you, I know how it feels being the oldest in the household. I remember when I was growing up, if my sibling, I have 3 siblings in that household. If they do something wrong, when our parents are not at home, when they come back, hey, and they refuse to confess, guess who get the blame? That's right, the older child. My father will be like, so what were you looking when he was touching that remote that he spoiled the TV? Or where were you? And if you dare to even explain yourself, your punishment will be double. Yes. And I'm sure it's not even an African home only. Because I've done my research, I've spoken to some people that are firstborn or they're the older child in the household. And everyone seems to come to the same conclusion, the same feeling, the same experience. That they get the blame whenever the sibling did something wrong. In my household, it's not just when they do something wrong. If something spoiled in that home, guess what? You all get punished for it. That's right. You know why? They'll be like, what are you doing? What were you watching? Where were you? Why are you keeping an eye on them when they were touching things? So yes, you had to grow fast, as in grow faster than your age. I know what I'm talking about because I've experienced it, and I'm sure you have. And if you have, guess what? Drop your comment and let's talk about it. And apart from even doing something wrong, if you're an older child, you'd be the one to do the cleaning, help with the cooking. What else? Anything possible that needs to be done. But when it comes to the younger child, oh, file, oh, she kere, oh, I can't be bothered. File jare, wo, sha file. That's what you get. I remember I used to tell my sisters, I used to tell my sister off. I'm like, don't worry, mommy smack me for you. Worry, you will see. Let them go out. I will deal with you. So my sisters always pray that they don't leave the house. So I've got my niece right here who's going to tell us her experience being the older child in a household. Hey, darling. Welcome to Let's Talk.
I'm happy to be here.
Good. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be as honest as possible for my audience.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So tell me, how is it, or what is your experience being like being the older child in your household?
Well, it's very fun because you also have people to play with. You're never alone in your house, and at least I don't really feel that way, but you do have that certain responsibility over them that you have to carry, and that you're expected to lay out, like you're expected to take care of them as well, so they can also follow in your path. So yeah.
So do you, because I was telling my audience my experience being the older child in my household, and when we do something wrong, and I get told off, for everyone. Is that the same with you as well?
Yeah, it is. It can get annoying, but sometimes you have to just take a step back. Like, it is your responsibility. They do have that expectation over you, and you have to carry it out. It will suck, basically. It's gonna get on your nerves a lot, but you have to also look at it from their point of view. You can get angry, but you just have to remember that it's not hard, it's not easy for them. So,
but then again, you love being the older child, because if like mommy buys something or daddy buys something for everyone, you get to pick first, don't you?
Yeah.
So how does that feel?
It feels like they reward me for everything that I have done or have done with my siblings, and it feels really good because it just shows that they still love you as the oldest as well.
You speak to any of your friends, and do they probably have the same experience as any of your friends being the older child in their family, and then they have the same experience that you have in your own family?
No, not really, because most of them are only childs, or they're the youngest. So honestly, they don't really, when I say that my sisters or brothers are annoying, they only say from the oldest brother or sister's point of view, but they don't know that it's actually hard being the oldest as well. So yeah.
So you've heard from, that's an evidence of, being an older child or being the first child in a household. I'm just letting our parents realize that sometimes, we do things that for the older child that we don't do for the younger one, in terms of when it comes to, directing or punishment, telling off, or, growing them up, because we tend to use all our strength on the first child. So when you start coming to the third, the second child still get a bit like, oh yeah, go on. But when it comes to the last child, they enjoy past, I don't know, that is the, the being an older child, a little bit of experience of being an older child in an African household. It's a sweet experience, you remember now. I mean, when you were younger, you wouldn't think it was a sweet and laughable experience. You'd be like, need to your sibling, right? Well, then when you're growing up and you're benefiting the older child's, and you're like thinking, yeah, listen to me, yes, listen to me. Or when it's like, look, when they tell him, I love when my parents is like, look at your sister. Can't you be like your sister? I'm like, you're damn right. Can't you be like me? It's like, can't you be like you? Can't you behave how well your sister behaves? Look at what your sister are doing. You can't even do half of it. Look at you. And I'm like, my turn now to glow, is it? I know it's horrible, but you just love that feeling. That feeling that, yeah, you got the spotlight now. The spotlight is in your eyes. It's in your face. But no, it's horrible, but you just laugh about it. You enjoy it. You enjoy that. I do. I always do. When my sisters are getting told off, I'm like, even though later I'm like, Bele, don't mind mommy, don't mind daddy, Bele, it's alright, sorry. After I've laughed and laughed and laughed, it's like, girl, I was in your shoe once upon a time. It's your time. I've done my time. It's horrible, but it's laughable now because older. We've experienced it. Nowadays they don't mean no harm about it, and they done. But please, mommy and daddy, let's try and treat the kids equally. I know parents are black, but we do treat you guys equally. But in the eyes of those that understand what I'm talking about, that's it. Today I'm just gonna be brief. I hope you've enjoyed my talk today, my topic. I hope it has been funny, and I hope it has been educative to most as well. Please, let's learn from me, mommy and daddy, and the siblings that's picking on the older kids that's picking on their sibling, just because you get told up by mommy and daddy. Stop it, please. It's not their fault. They're just blessed and lucky. So, but that's all for me from today. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe, to like and share my video. If you have any comment about today's topic, please feel free to drop a comment. Thank you. Bye bye. And as the Yoruba said, Ó dàbọ̀, ẹ ṣeun.